Alright guys, this is the Apexcam Action Camera X60 Pro. Here it is right here. It's a little guy, little action camera. Right here in the front, you have your power button. You just hold it in and it powers up the camera. It's also your mode button. Of course, you get your fisheye lens right there. Then you got a couple of selector buttons here on the side. This is where your micro SD goes. And then you have a micro USB port and a micro HDMI port. You've got a LED light here. When you power it on, this will be blue. And then right here is your shutter and select button. And of course you get your tripod mount on the bottom. Now this comes with a bunch of different accessories here. You have a remote. One side takes pictures, one side takes video. You've got your charger. It comes with two batteries, so you got two slots there. You can charge two batteries at once. Comes with a lavalier mic. Waterproof case. Here's your extra battery. There's a battery in it already. And you got a bunch of different straps for it as well. So it comes with a decent amount of accessories. So what you want to do when you want to power it up, you just hold in the mode button here. See the blue light comes on. And it comes on really fast. So it doesn't take long for it to power up. Then, if you want to start selecting things, you just hit the front button. A couple of times it'll go into the menu. Then you have your two selector buttons on the side, up or down. Will take you through the settings. This will take you into video playback. This will take you into photo playback if you have photos on it. The next setting here is the video settings. So let's go through that. First one is your video resolutions. This comes with 4K at 60 frames per second, also at 30 frames per second, 2.7K at 60 frames per second and 30, 1080p at 120 and 60, and 720 at 120 and 240. Okay, so you have EV here. This is your exposure value. You can change that. Next one is image stabilization. You can turn it on or off. You can do loop video. Now using loop record, you can continuously record video but only save the moments you want. So that's sort of what that does for you. You also have field of view, which you can do wide, medium, narrow. There's three kinds of angles for choosing there. You can do auto low light, and you can do a time and date stamp if you want. Then if we go into photo settings, photo resolution, you can go from 20 megapixels all the way down to 8 megapixels. You can do long exposure, you can change the ISO, exposure value, you can do time-lapse photography and burst photo. There's a self timer, time and date stamp, a bunch of different things on there that you can do. You can go into your settings next. You can change the frequency if you need to. You can go into the sound menu. This is basically the sounds that the camera makes when you're using it. You can turn all those off or on and control the volume as well. Got an AE meter, auto white balance. You can do effects, standard, black and white, natural, negative, retro, and then you can play with the brightness and contrast. Next one is LDC. This is your lens distortion correction. The default setting is off, but you can turn it on if you need to. You can set the date and time here. There's a screensaver if you don't want to have the screen on when you're doing video. You can set it at different times, or you can turn it off. Upside down, if you want to use the camera upside down. Powering off. A Wi-Fi connection that works with the app that comes with it. And remote control. You have a driving mode. You can change the language. You can format the card. You can do a reset. And then this just tells you your version, and this tells you about your memory card. And then they also have a section here for recommended micro SD cards as well. So as far as the Apexcam, this is nowhere near a professional camera. This is something that you can use if you want to post things to your YouTube channel or something like that. I basically got it to, I do a lot of mountain biking, so I plan to, shoot some video while I'm doing that. I didn't want to spend a lot of money on a more expensive camera. And this is the first action camera that I bought. I wanted to see if I would use it, if I like it. So far, this is a pretty good camera. I mean, at this price point, I think it's a pretty good deal. Like I said, you get a lot of accessories with it, so you can do a lot of different, ways of shooting. If you want to take it in the water, you can, because it comes with the waterproof case. This waterproof case is rough. I mean, just opening and closing it is tough. That's one of the things I didn't like about the case. Also, another thing I didn't like on this is, you'll see later in the video, I'll put up some test video that I shot at different resolutions. And the audio, I had this out of the case and probably about maybe a foot or two away from me, and you could barely hear the audio. So I obviously don't recommend using this and counting on the audio. Now when you plug the lav in, the audio is a little better, but don't expect this to be great at capturing audio. It does a good job of capturing video, especially at the higher resolutions. When I got down to like 720 on this, it was grainy. I didn't like that resolution. I mean, obviously that's the lowest settings, so I wouldn't recommend the lower settings on this. 1080p was okay, but this really shines when you get into the 4K resolution, and even the 2.7 was good. So just so you know what you're getting, and don't expect it to shoot like a pro camera, of course. But all in all, at this price point, I think it's a pretty good deal. Not a bad little camera at all.